All right, after show time. Let's get this crazy music out of here. Let's get the Skype up. After show time.
Hello.
Hello. That way
Welcome
to send
to the after show.
that way to send us out there at the end was pretty amazing. Let me get the Pandora up here in the background.
I was pretty proud of it, to be honest.
Were you a little bit there? Was it British enough?
It was the most British I've ever been in my entire life.
Oh my
god. So there you go.
You're totally outdoing my y'all. I feel so overshadowed.
Jeez, man.
I'm out accenting you.
Out accenting you. So let's jump right into the questions though, because I know people they were asking stuff during the show. One of the ones that came up that we have in Skype was
what part of Britain?
What part of Britain
are you from?
Oh, I'm from Britain. No, I'm from London. I'm like West London. Yeah, I'm near like Hampton Court Palace. I'm around there, so very close to that place. But London, jolly old London, where it's very expensive everywhere. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
You were talking about trying to get a house, right? And it's like the lottery.
Not going to get a house.
Not going to get a house.
Not going to get a house here, unless you are earning a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
And you want to get a very expensive mortgage. So yeah, not getting a house in London anytime soon. It'd be more feasible to go and move to America or another country where the house prices are much lower. So if we were going to move out, it'd probably be somewhere a lot less expensive.
Someone asked, who asked? Oh, Savage Express, because we were talking about League of Legends. What's your favorite League of Legends champion?
Yeah.
Favorite League of Legends champion at the moment is Nasus. And I'll give you a reason why. Nasus, if you don't know anything about League of Legends, I ain't going to bother telling you about it. But people who know about League of Legends, Nasus's Q is ridiculous, of course, because you can stack it up. And there's a certain build with Nasus. He has a base amount of lifesteal on him. And if you run a bunch of lifesteal as it is, you can have like something like 20 to 25% lifesteal at the beginning of the game.
Correct.
And it's so troll. It is so troll. And that's all I do. I run that. And then the thing is, it's kind of annoying with Nasus is that you do have to wait until 25 minutes and then your game starts.
Pretty much.
Literally, I am Q farming, but then another annoying thing is that if you get too strong, they'll immediately surrender and it's no fun.
Correct.
But there's nothing better than going back with 4.5k gold because you don't need to ever go back. Coming back with a Triforce and a Frozen Heart and 2 hitting their AD carry. It's so funny.
Yep.
It's so funny. So that's my favourite.
I gotcha.
I main top though. Vladimir's good as well, but he's shit at high ELO because people just know what to do with him.
They know what to do, yeah.
He's just trash otherwise. You can win sometimes, but otherwise no. But I'm a very passive laner normally.
Yeah.
In League of Legends, so Nasus is definitely amazing.
We have a final boss question. Theodive? I have no idea. Theo wanted to know about requesting people we want on Final Boss. So how that works is you can ask us who you'd like. The best way to do it, though, is right below or on the website, FinalBoss.tv. The people that you want on the show, if you can try to talk to them somehow, they can submit if they would like to be involved. There's a Be a Boss forum that they can submit and put in there. And then right now we're kind of working off a lot of connections we've already made or had or like henpecking people. Eventually we'll be rolling into more of the people that actually are submitting because we have quite a few people wanting to be on the show, right? And that's wonderful. But we have to go through, obviously we have certain connections of people we were working for already before we go to that way. So if you want people to be on the show, if you can talk to them and tell them about the show, that's the best way to do it. And then they can submit to be a boss. That's the best way for us to communicate with them because that forum has all the information we need to judge and plan because we don't really we have like 2 or 3 episodes in advance planned, but after that, we don't know yet. Like after the 17th of November, we don't know where we're going to go because right now that's a huge hump for us. So when we want to plan more class-oriented episodes down the road, we need classes for those episodes. So that's the best way.
The exciting side of that is that if you have somebody that you really want to see on the show, it's not like there's going to be 3 or 4 months before we can fit them in. I mean, you could potentially see them soon. So make sure that you get them to fill out the guest submission box on the Final Boss website so that we can make sure to get them on the show as soon as possible.
Yep, that's the best way because right now a lot of the times we go through and there was a question that came to me on the email that said, how did you folks meet? It was Howl Strife of Ravencrest. Howl Strife. How did you all meet? He's new here because FatBoss sent us, right? So a lot of it really, it's not to be, people aren't really scary. Just contact them is the best way for me to say it. We have reached out to other people before to be on the show, and they have declined or not responded. That happens. But I mean, I think I just sent you a message on your inbox to YouTube, right?
Yeah, that's all that happened to me.
Yeah, that's all I sent, and then we just went from there. And then I usually just go right to Skype, and then Alex and I talked last week for like an hour and a half about just nothing on Skype, just to meet each other, right? And it's just super easy to meet people. So that's how we got in contact. Originally, the show was co-hosted by Galaxtraza, Jenny, who had to step down because she kind of like wasn't with the game anymore, and she was going through college stuff, and she was just too busy. So I hosted 2 episodes by myself, realizing that it kind of doesn't really work for the format, and I wanted a co-host. And then I got wind of someone stalking the show on Twitter.
Who, me?
And this one right here, maybe.
I was talking to you on Reddit well before the show started.
Yeah, it was
He posted on Reddit about this great idea for a hardcore rating show. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's, you know, I'm a pretty serious raider. You know, somebody in chat was like, Something Wicked isn't that hardcore. Well, I'm a pretty serious raider, and none of the content that I watch online is in line with the kind of stuff that I want to hear about and talk about. Yeah. So I saw that post on Reddit, and that was when I was like, I don't know who this Bay guy is, but that's awesome, and I wanna watch this, be part of it. So yes, I was stalking the show.
Yeah, a little bit. So I just reached out to her. I just basically started tweeting at her, and she was following the show, so I just DM'd, and we went from there. And then we got in Skype like twice and just talked for a little bit to see how it feels. And you were like super nervous at first. I think you were just fitting right in right now. I mean, that was like over a month ago now. It's crazy how long it's been since we started the show. I mean, this is our 13th episode, 14th if you include the terrible pilot. But the guests weren't terrible.
Well, I mean, it had enhancement shaman, so what do you expect?
Oh. Really?
Yeah.
Chromag.
Shots fired.
I saw
Shots
Chromag giving us crap about enhanced shamans earlier today. I thought it was funny, but
yeah, I was actually really nervous. Chat saying like, I remember your nerves. I was, and that's just because you can never tell what people who are anonymous on the internet are gonna say. I wasn't sure, you know, how chat would be. Like, one thing I love to do during the show is chat with people in the chat room. So if you ever watch the video later and I'm not looking at the camera, I have to work on that, but it's because I really like hanging out with people in the chat room as well. But before I got on the show, I was a little bit nervous about whether chat would suck or whether chat would be really awesome. And I think it's clear that chat for this show has been really awesome and tons of fun. So it's basically you guys who watch the show that have made us who make the show have a lot of fun. So sappy comment, but that's how I feel.
Like, we definitely have some star power and some draw because we're trying to bring these like top tier players like right in front of your face. You can like listen to them talk and like actually have interactions with them outside of because sometimes their actual streams are a little too heavy or they don't stream. So a lot of that definitely can bring in people, but it has to do with the fact that we want to bring this to you, right? Like, we want to bring these people in front of you guys. So it really helps that, just look over at chat, threw me off. Reese, you're replacing Anna. Okay. You guys have to fight about it. But a lot of it comes from you guys helping the show grow, because there are lots of WoW podcasts and lots of WoW shows. There is a WoW podcast about WoW podcasts. Realm Maintenance is great, but they talk about WoW podcasts, right? And there are lots of shows out there that break down stuff and tinfoil hat things and are very blue posty and newsy. But I felt that there wasn't like an interview show that talked to like Sko and Roger Brown and Alex and Shinafei and Sparkugs and Lansol, right? Like all these people we've talked on the show overall, Vixen. But it's awesome to get them in front and them to be okay with it, to talk to you guys. You know, some of them, like Sheena, it was actually really funny with Shinafei because she loves all the theory crafting and she eats, breathes, sleeps, math, warlock. But she never had an outlet really outside of like the forums, which only gets seen by so much, to actually get her information out there. That's why I think that's one of our most popular episodes on YouTube, is that the math that Spark was hilarious, but what they brought to the warlock community episode was so good. I think a lot of it's changed now because, you know, Blizzard, but perfect imbalance and stuff. But that's the whole point of what we're trying to do with this show. So. And it really is, like what Anna said, rings completely true. It's all about you guys, because you guys make the show grow. Like, if you want the transcoding options, it's up to you guys. We can only do so much, but it's you to help spread the show. And, you know, on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, on iTunes even. Like, that's all on you guys to really help us out, because we have to do enough as it is, and we can only do so much. And we're not really advertising, right? Like, that's kind of meh. But we'll see. If you're at BlizzCon, definitely come check us out. We're going to have our shirts on. You get a wristband from us. I've got 800 of them because the order got flubbed, so they doubled my order. So So whatever. I mean, definitely come get that from us. I'll have like a satchel on, like just like carrying all, and all of us will have them. Emily will have them, Reese will have them, Anna will have them, and I will have them. So, and if you missed the first part of the episode, it'll be up on YouTube. It'll be
we'll put the whole thing on YouTube and the after show at some point. Right
down below us, all the buttons work. All that beautiful artwork by our great art director, Leo Naka. All that stuff down there. So all that stuff's down below, and obviously FinalBossTV has everything. It has the podcast version. It has the all the episodes on there as well. The forum to submit questions and to be a boss. So, yep.
Just want to say from an outside point of view, like, because I don't podcast ever, but like actually being on the show and seeing the other stuff that you guys do, it's actually really, really good quality content. You guys have been doing this for like 13 shows.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, this kind of stuff is very, very difficult because you're going to have a lot of different people. Like, I feel that probably I'm fairly moldable to how you guys want to do it. Like, I can kind of adapt in sort of a way, so I can, like, I'm used to talking into a microphone, I'm used to talking to people, but then you'll get the top end raid people which probably aren't as used to doing it, but you still are really, really good at that. So I think this is what you guys have made from an outside point of view is really, really good. So well done, you guys.
Well, let's hope everybody else feels the same way. I like seeing the show grow and get bigger, and I'm super excited for BlizzCon. Everybody who is watching the show right now, we are going to be there, and Reese and Illumina and a bunch of other people from the showcast, and make sure that you come find us, and, you know, it's just, you know, we'll pump the show and it'll be really great. Connect to everybody. Oh. I don't know where I was going with that.
That was totally fine.
I just really can't wait to bring the show to a higher profile, and I think BlizzCon is the way to do that.
Yep. But we're totally trying to exploit the show, though, right? That's what we're doing, Anna. What we're doing is wrong.
Yeah, we're exploiting all of the people who are watching and all the cool people who we've had on the show. All the cool people we've had on the show and Lerald.
We always exploit. We need to exploit Lerald again.
Yeah, we got to do that.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, back to questions that we have for Alex.
I have a question.
What's your question, Cider Man?
What's the question?
I haven't got any cider. We haven't gone over our costumes in good detail. It's about time we start. It's not a question. It's more of a thing that just has to be done.
Oh,
I
it's
think
gotta
we should
happen.
I think we should start with Anna. Anna, what's going on? What's going on with the costume, Anna? Let us know.
Well, I went through it at the beginning of the show. I sat down for the pre-show at 3 p.m. and Bay's like, "Oh, right, and we're dressing up for Halloween." And I was like, "What?" And usually we start the show at 3, and Bay gets all of the videos and such set. So I basically turned my camera off for 20 minutes while I dug a costume up. And the costume I have, it's actually Alice. It's a costume that I wore a couple years ago, and there's like blood and stuff on the bottom because it was
It's real blood.
It was American McGee's Alice in Wonderland, right? Isn't that the name of the?
Yes,
the
American
game?
McGee.
From a long time ago. But there's the costume. See, Alice in Wonderland. So that's my costume.
It's an epic costume. It's lovely.
So thank you. Glad everybody enjoyed it. So I just went for something kind of simple and cutesy because that's kind of my style. It's just simple and cutesy.
And Adam?
Oh, me? My turn?
Yeah,
I was going to ask, Francis, are you in the chat room? I want to ask Francis, because she has the pictures of where this is from. But Pikachu has the hat on, right? I don't have the wig on, obviously, because I can't wear the wig and this. But she's in the Final Boss chat. Francis, need pictures. Please, chat. Thanks. I screwed up the heart. But anyway, we last year at Murder Mystery Night at UCF, University of Central Florida, there was the Murder Mystery Night was an anime-themed like murder play, and I acted in it as Alucard. And because I didn't have the time to make my costume, I actually had this. This is like professionally tailored. It like fits me like a glove. I call myself Fat Lucard because I'm actually like, you know, kind of pudgy. But so I wore this. I wish Frances was here. She would link you the pictures that she has on her DeviantArt page of like the whole cast and crew and like me in full garb and whatever. So, but Alucard is from Hellsing, which is an anime, and the OVA of it is amazing. Hellsing Ultimate is great. But I did the voice. I did a whole bunch of trial and error with Crispin Freeman. I could get up and get the hat. I should have thought about it aforetime. But the hat is actually signed by Crispin Freeman because I met him at the NitroCon event last year, so which is pretty cool. He did the voice for Alucard, if you don't know. But yeah, I kind of like that anime a lot. So this is the full get up. Is actually like the undershirt and the tie and the suit jacket, the gloves, and the other glove's right here. I just can't wear it because my mouse hand, I can't feel my mouse. So, but the full duster jacket and everything like that, it's very heavy, and I'm getting kind of hot. But that's what this is. So,
Good.
And
Yeah,
then,
your costume got more acclaim than my costume. That's great with the glove. I love it.
well, I mean, like, they're just printed. It's not real, but I mean, it all came together. Emily, please. So, and then what did, I think Francis is going to drop in here for pictures in a second. And what is yours, Alex? What did you put together for us?
I haven't even got a costume on. I didn't even know.
Oh, this is how we normally
It's
dress.
just how I would normally dress. Prefer if you guys didn't take the mic. No, I've got there's a Halloween party going on at our house in like a week's time, so this is kind of half of it, but it's like some huge long coat thing. It goes really far down, and I'm just gonna go like kind of vampire-y, sort of all that kind of nonsense. So yeah, it should be really, really good. But overall, it's just like a costume of like sort of vampire-esque sort of thing, but I've got to collect a couple more things for it. But yeah, I've thrown it on today. It's quite comfortable actually. I might wear it just
Quite
generally.
comfortable, actually.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's me in full garb. Yeah, there's the picture. A friend of mine took that. I was just standing in front of one of the lights on the stage, but that's just how the light hit me. I was like on purpose because I knew he was taking my picture, but yep, that's the full costume.
It's a good picture. My goodness.
Looks beautiful.
Yeah.
It looks
That's
beautiful.
wonderful.
And then down on the bottom right, you can go over to the full cast, and you see all of us standing there, and that's everybody. Yep. And the wide shot.
Awesome.
Did she link the same thing? Yeah. I don't know if you guys can pick out which one is Francis, though. You can guess, unless she just wants to tell you guys. But she helped me with putting it all together and stuff, and picking it all out. We had to find the different people to get it from. But yep, that was the costume. Lots of fun. Yeah, I shaved everything off for that too, and I had some makeup on to make me look paler. But literally, the only part of my body that breathed for that entire day, like 4-ish hours in costume, was my face. So needless to say, it was rough.
Yeah.
Yep. I wish we had it recorded. We had the murder mystery night recorded, but the guy that recorded it didn't like back up his SD cards before he deleted them, so we lost all of it.
Oh,
so it's gone.
That sucks.
So we had the whole play recorded, whole thing. So
What you need to do is just do it again then.
oh yeah, just do it again. Francis, just do it again. Back to one. Back to one. Francis, go. Let's go back to one.
God.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Frances is Morgan. She has the teal hair. It was a lot of fun. It's definitely a lot of fun last year. The one this year is not going to be as good because we're not in it. But, you know. Oh, shots fired.
Next time.
So,
Wow.
So moving along, we've got another question that came in. We can go back to some WoW stuff at this point. And actually, we didn't go into a whole lot in the show from you and me, Bay. But a question came in over Twitter. Optic asks, what boss in Siege of Orgrimmar is your favorite, Alex? Which one's your fave?
Well, as I said, although I'm not actually rating it properly, but like doing all the flex and actually doing the guides for the bosses as well. Speaking like from like a general feel for a boss, I actually really like Malkorok. I actually really like that fight. It's really simple, but especially like seeing what it is on heroic, it's very like it requires individual player skill not to fuck up, and I really like those sort of fights as well. So I think that fight generally is really quite cool, but I think overall it'll probably, I don't know, they're all good bosses. I think they've done well overall. I think they tuned badly, to be honest. I think their tuning was really bad. The first like 10 bosses odd, it seemed like people steamrolled through it, so it's kind of a bit wank.
First 8 to 10.
But yeah, I don't know, that they're all really good, but I'd probably say Malkorok. He's really cool. He's a very cool fight. It's very simple, but there's probably a lot of people who disagree with me. So, but I do like that fight, I must admit.
I think Anna.
I'd really like that fight if I was range.
Maybe. I don't know. Range was always the reason why we always wipe though, because if one of those goes off, one of the miasmas goes off in heroic, it's basically over, and the melee one is impossible to have it explode. So, but I was gonna say, I think Anna and I might be in the same boat that we're about to really like Siegecrafter once we kill it, because we're both on Siegecrafter. So, because the fight is so, I mean, I'm gonna love it because it's like a Muru fight because it's so complex. We're gonna get that kill's gonna feel great when we get there, but we'll see.
How many wipes do y'all have in on it at this point?
Nearly 100.
Oh my goodness.
Nearly 100.
I think we're only about 30 wipes in right now. I love the belt. on Siegecrafter. That's probably my favorite mechanic in Siege so far, is the belt. And I had our very first night of progression on Heroic Siegecrafter was Thursday, and I was having like a very stressful work week, so I went in there, and it took me about an hour to kind of pull my my head into the game and figure out how not to die to the fire. And then when I figured out how not to die to the fire on the belt, then I had a really good time. And of course, Double cheat's fun.
Double cheat, you just walk through the lasers, quiet.
It's a little frustrating though, because I feel like as a Ret Paladin, I've been very, very good for a lot of the fights this tier, and I don't know if I've put enough work into Siegecrafter to really make a determination about whether or not that's a decent fight for me. But I didn't feel so great on the belt as a Ret. Maybe it just takes some more time. That I wouldn't say Siegecrafter right now is my favorite fight so far. It's definitely by an order of magnitude the hardest fight we've seen yet. But that's blatantly obvious.
Yes.
So I actually kind of enjoyed Thok to a certain extent, and again that's because Ret does pretty well, and I felt pretty useful with my Devo. I also had a lot of responsibility on that fight. I was marked for a stack point. I was starting a cooldown rotation. So I like fights where I have to make sure I pay attention, and where people are depending on me. And so even if it was, even if less people were depending on me than I thought, that felt really good for me. And I actually really enjoyed all of our progression on Thok. And he also has all of my loot. He has literally all of the loot for strength. He's got the polearm, and he's got the trinket, and he's got a piece of tier. I mean, he has everything. So it's a long answer, but that's how I feel about Siege so far. Perhaps Thok is my favorite so far.
The Chomp Chomp monster, if Emily was here.
I remember going into the Final Boss chat and Skype chat being like, I was behind him and he ate me. How did that happen? And then, what was it? It was either Purge or Primal Shock said, that's the butt chomp. That's the butt chomp. Apparently, if you walk into his hitbox, because Melee have to chase him. If you walk into his hitbox, he will eat you behind. It was spectacular. And then you explode in this, like, gory pile. It's great.
Yeah, it's one of the best animations we've seen this tier, though, is the Chomp Chomp anime. And I think it's the best when you do an LFR because it takes like 3 chomps to kill you. So all you do is when the boss spins, it's like blood, just gore everywhere, and like 2 people die. But it's still funny to look at all of like the actual like carnage. Like suddenly WoW becomes rated M for mature because there's like body parts flying everywhere.
And there's also that part where Terran Zoo is right before Shaw, where he's like bleeding, and there's this like really
trail
bright pile of blood. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, see, just a little graphic. I think it gets
a little graphic, just a little.
Just a little. So
I refuse to do Looking for Raid without streaming it. Absolutely refuse, flat out.
Why? Because you want like viewers to help you? You mean like viewers to come with you?
Or just viewers to suffer with you.
Or just
the thing is that in Looking for Raid, you can get a lot of people who are just that you'll get them AFK, or you'll get them like thinking that they know exactly what's going on when they're clueless, typing in all caps and all that shit. I'm just like, fuck off. But if I'm streaming it, people like I get to have fun with the people I'm playing with, like because I'm streaming and talking to them that, and I feel that they want to play better as well because they're look, I'm on stream as well. So it's a bit of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, literally, it's so much better doing it that way. Otherwise, I just refuse flat out now because I don't have to do it. It's kind of like I don't think I will.
We had kind of an off-the-cuff question. Dr. Zombie asked, what kind of mice do we use? What kind of mouse do we use to play WoW? I use the Razer Mamba, which is a big mouse. This guy right here. Razer Mamba. This big guy. It's actually like my second, I think, or third. I don't know. Because the side buttons usually break, and that's when I use the Best Buy replacement plan. So
don't say that on video, Bay.
What do you... It's the replacement plan. You pay for it. You know, what do you use, Anna?
I use a Naga. I have the original Naga. I don't know if the camera can see it, but it has all. I actually love. People don't always like the buttons on the side, but I don't even need the stickers. I love the buttons on the side. And also, I heard it was great for people with small hands, and I do have very small hands. So I had a really bad day at work one day, like a year and a half ago, and I went to Best Buy, and I was like, I need a Naga. I'm just going to buy it, retail therapy. And the guy behind the counter was like, do you play MMOs? And I was like, yeah, I play World of Warcraft. And I put my hand on it, and I was like, this is perfect. I have a tiny little girl hand, and the Naga is flawless for people with little tiny hands. And I fell in love with it right there. I'm never going to use another mouse. It's always going to be the Naga. It's great. And I have all of my Paladin utility on all the buttons. I don't know how I'd play Paladin without lots of buttons on my mouse.
Yeah.
It couldn't work. So.
What do you use, Alex? Are you on the Razer bandwagon?
I don't. Fuck no, not with mice.
Oh god.
I've had nothing but issues with Razer mice. Like either
Aw.
they would constantly keep glitching out, so you have to unplug them, plug them back in, try and do that while you're raiding, and that's
Sometimes,
a wipe.
yeah.
I cannot like things that are like hardware, like you actually have to use. If it doesn't work 100% of the time, it's useless to me. Because like even playing League of Legends, most of the games I play, one small little mistake is just a complete waste of time for the rest of it. At the moment, I'm using whatever the fuck this is. It's a Logitech one.
The M35 or something like that.
There we go. But it's really good. It's really good because it fits into the palm of your hand. It's got 2 side buttons, which is nice on the side, and that's all I really needed. 2 side buttons. If you use like Control and Shift as well, that's like 6 buttons overall extra. If you use those as modifiers.
So I just mixed around I mixed around the numbers there. Yeah, it's the 530, not the 35. Whatever. I mean, it's fine that I even like or the 518. Whatever. It's one of the two. It's that mouse.
518. Yeah. You're right. It's a 518. But
yeah, sure.
It's I find it really good. It was quite cheap because like the Razer one was really expensive and I needed to get a new one and it was like and this looked really good, so I grabbed this and it's been fine ever since. I've been having this for like 2-3 years now, I think, and it's like ace. Never had a single problem with it. But I do have a Razer keyboard, absolutely fine with that. And Razer headsets are generally okay, but I don't like USB headsets because I don't see the point. Because it's a fuck up.
I hate them too. I have limited USB. I don't know why people don't make computer cases with more than 2 USB ports in the front. Maybe I'm just not buying the right computer case. But my case is really, really nice. I have a Corsair case that I moved my build into about 6 months ago, and it only has 2 USB ports in the front. Why do I want a headset that's going to take up one of those USB ports the entire time that I'm using my PC? So I don't like headsets with USB ports either. That's actually why I like my current one. It's one of the reasons it doesn't have a USB connection.
USB headsets too usually have poor audio quality as well. For some reason. They hum. That's true too. Yeah, that's just true.
My Raid Leader's headset hums. It drives me nuts.
And front USB ports are always a little weakerly powered than the back ones anyway too. Like just like notorious on computers. That's how it works. So like the front ones are supposed to be used for like USB drives and stuff, and the back ones should be used for hardware. So. Yep.
Yeah, recently I've been struggling with getting a new headset, and I decided to splash out and get the new A40s from Astro, and they're so comfy. They're just so comfy, so I've been using them now.
We had Zoidberg, spelled Zoydberg, Zoidberg of Stormscale EU, asked you, why don't you release more content, damn it?
Yeah, about that. Well, up to recently, because I've only finished college for me. I did high school for you guys. I don't know. It's all a bit weird. But I finished that only about 3-4 months ago. It's actually quite a long time now. But I've been mainly doing other stuff that I needed to finish off after college, as well as then doing all the guides. Once these guides are done, we're getting back into a bit more of a rhythm. It's kind of hard to like do self-discipline wise. Like when you literally it is your job to make YouTube videos, it's very easy not to make YouTube videos.
Absolutely.
You can fuck about so much. Like it's just like I'll make a YouTube video after this game of League of Legends, and then your friend comes online like, "Oh, do you want to do another game?" It's like, "Yeah, all right then." And then it's suddenly 1 a.m, and you're like, "Oh, what have I done today?" So yeah, we have been slacking somewhat as well, but that's due to change. We've got a lot of stuff coming up, so there should be more content, which is good. Good.
Yeah, we went over in the show proper that we'll be putting together some content jointly based on what Blizzard is happening, because I'm going to be there, and Anna's going to be there, and Reese is going to be there, and Emily's going to be there. We're all going to be giving out wristbands, and we'll have Final Boss t-shirts on, so you can go up and say hello, but I'm going to be working on getting pictures and/or video with my camera kit that I'm taking with me to help make Nobble the Noble. He's going to make some lore stuff about it, like if I do like the quest and dungeon panel, or if there's anything about lore, I'm going to be taking that for him. And then I'll also be doing stuff at when they do raid previews or something like that, or they do concept art, or like, you know, the inside, they do like usually they have like the slates of like what the raids are gonna look like, and that kind of stuff will go to FatBoss, so they can put up content about that when it happens. So you can look through stuff that I'm gonna have on the YouTube page from Blizzcon, and then what FatBoss and Nobble will also have with the footage that I give them. So, which will be direct from there. So I know you guys are gonna see if you can get footage from the actual virtual ticket, but that's only, you know, so much, exactly. And I'm gonna be on the floor getting hopefully good stuff, depending on how dark it is in there. That's the only thing I'm scared about. ahead of time. But hopefully on my lenses will be able to handle it. So, but yeah, you'll definitely have tons of stuff coming out here from all three of us soon. So look forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was gonna mess with Alex and have him say what. Never mind.
What?
Let's get him to say that word again. No, it was funny. People are just poking fun because of your accent.
Oh, what?
What's FB's plan for next expansion? You mean Final Boss? Or was that a FatBoss question?
I think it's FatBoss. Yeah. What are FatBoss's plans for next expansion? I think.
Probably continue raiding. Loz will probably be jumping on that still, and we'll do the same sort of setup as we've done this one. It's worked out really well while I'll just be playing the game and having a bit of lull, bit of fun sort of thing. And it should be really good, I think, that sort of way. But otherwise, chilling out and mainly focusing on Blizzard's other games that are coming out, which is really, really cool. We just got to see what comes out and when, but the beta we're going to absolutely destroy in every way, shape or form. We're going to try and get really early access.
Heroes of the Storm, right? Or the expansion?
All of them.
Both. Okay, both. That's
Everything.
right.
But mainly the expansion for WoW. That expansion we're going to completely destroy. We got quite early access last time. We feel that we didn't utilize that enough. So we're going to make a shit ton of content this time, which is going to be good. That's the main thing.
Yeah,
I think Ray and I will be all over that as well.
We're gonna have, I don't know what we're gonna do. It may be a community effort. You guys gotta go bother Nobble to get on the show because apparently he's too busy. Because I would love to do like beta coverage stuff of the expansion with say Alex or Laws and Nobble or like the two of you or whatever. Because we're gonna have definitely times when the beta comes out and when there's official things we can talk about, because obviously there'll be NDA for the people that enclosed first and whatever, we'll see. Obviously all the BlizzCon stuff is free, like I can just post that to all these guys and they'll be fine. But when it actually comes to doing like a show, I would love to not only have to do class-oriented stuff at that time. I would love to I don't like doing a lot of theory crafting and conjecture on this show. It's not like the format we use, but when stuff actually physically comes out that we can talk about, I would love to have episodes that do discuss the beta. Because especially once we can stream it to some degree, I know there'll be a lot of people chomping at the bit for that kind of coverage. So I would love to work together with these guys to make stuff happen for the community to get different aspects of it, because each one is going to be covering different things. So it'll be fun. I know the end, the show on the 17th of November is our community wrap-up show, which the two guests we're going to have on are just community figures, right? We're not going to really talk about the classes that are involved. So, I'm super excited. I really hope we get the guest on that we want, but it'll be interesting because all we'll do is talk about BlizzCon, really, for you guys. And that's the whole goal of that show. So I'm trying to work in slightly different formats, maybe one different show a month, so it's not always class stuff, just to keep the longevity, because there's only 34 classes we can talk about, really. We can go back to some eventually because of notes and patches and stuff after the expansion, but we don't know when that's going to be. So we're trying to do a lot. It's a lot of... You guys are awesome, and it takes a lot of work to do this stuff, and we really appreciate the feedback, but just so you know what we're trying to do in the future. Yeah. I don't know why you don't have a sword yet. I gave you a sword, Nobble, but...
What do you think is going to be the next class in the next expansion? Or do you think there is going to even be a next class?
Oh, God.
Another class.
I
think it's going to be a Corgi.
No.
I was waiting for that.
I don't think there's going to be a next class. I think it's possible that they'll put another race in, but I don't think there's going to be a next class at this point. They clearly have not yet. I mean, they've done a really good job with monks. I'm not trying to downplay what monks have added to the game, because I think monks are really cool and they've given it a try, and they're a really cool addition to DPS and tank and healing. But I think monks are still a work in progress.
Absolutely.
And with monks still clearly a work in progress, I don't think that there's any logical explanation for them adding another class in the next expansion.
Correct.
And I could be wrong. That's just my guess, having watched Balance for over a year now.
Yep.
I don't see a hole being filled that a new class would fill as clearly as monks did.
I think they're better off having either the Path of the Titans, extra ways to go into your one class. You can become something different in Enhancement if you're playing. I play an Enhancement Shaman, and I play as a Ret Paladin. There's a question in chat. So if you could become, the Path of the Titans thing was all, cosmetical or, outside crap, but if you had, extra advancement in your tree, that's the thought. I think that would be better. Or a fourth tree for every class, right? To fill different niches or different roles for those classes, like enhancement shamans being a tank or some crap like that, or
but I feel
rogues
like
being
that's
a
even
tank.
more work than adding
that's
one
true.
more class, because that's adding what 11 new classes to the game.
Yeah, there's different, but adding one class can really set off, like the monks, especially Windwalkers. We talked about this last week. They've changed every patch, right? And that happens for a new class, right? But I think they know a lot about their original classes and the classes they have balanced for. So either they're going to do something really sweeping, or they're not going to do anything at all. That's basically the long and short of how it's going to happen. So, yeah. But I think I was going to tell, don't get Nobble started, because he wants pirates. he wants pirates really badly for the next class, like a pirate class or something like that. So, see, there he goes. I think
it's likely that there will be another profession. I think.
Oh, yes.
Especially since I don't believe they're going to add another class, I think they would not be able to add an expansion without adding a profession. And I believe we're going to see that's where I would see Path of the Titans come back, is some variant of a new profession. But
yeah,
I'll guess.
I mean, I think they've added a new profession or a new sub-profession every expansion, though, right? Because we got like archaeology, and then we got inscription, and then we got we've got one more, haven't we? Archaeology and inscription are like the two sub ones they've added, right? So maybe we didn't get one expansion, we didn't get something new, like profession-wise. But I definitely feel that I talked about it before on previous episodes, where Mists of Pandaria was a non-congruent expansion in the line of the actual like regular story. It was filler, more or less. And I feel that not only was the expansion filler, but also the raids were filler. Like all 3 raids, they learned from each one before it and kind of like amalgamated it into Siege of Orgrimmar. And they've tested so many little things with set bonuses with all the different classes for the new talent system they might be reworking or fixing in, if we go to level 100 or whatever. So they're going into 6.0 with so much information, I think, and on the quickness that they put out patches and content gave them so much more than they're used to with previous expansions, that we're going to go into a pretty awesome game in 6.0. And I'm super excited because we've had like ups and downs. Everyone's like, I love vanilla, but it still had bad points, and I love Burning Crusade, the whole attunement system and the raid lockouts and like the hardness of the game, but then there was always like bleh, like the flask elixirs and pots and consumables and all that crap was terrible. And then Wrath of the Lich King was way too easy, and then Cataclysm was way too hard, and and now Mists of Pandaria has 4 difficulties for raiding, right? So like there's so much going on, which is exciting for us because we love talking about raiding, and that's where we want to focus the show, obviously. So when more people are raiding, 4 difficulties of raiding, Proving Grounds 2, Heroic Scenarios are new, like all this stuff. They have so much information for us to go into 6.0. So, yeah.
Maybe we should each go around and make one prediction that we think is going to happen in 6.0. Just one, and put our money where our mouth is, and come back to this in 2 weeks and have a look. What do you think, Bae? If you'd have to restrain yourself to just one prediction. I know, because we all have many predictions, but just what is the one thing that you are most convinced will happen in 6.0?
Level cap to 100.
Really? You think it's going to go all the way to 100?
That's cheating.
This guy right here.
I can't say corgis either. I don't know. I think the raid tier. I think they'll do a multi-instance raid tier again.
You think so?
Like with tier 14?
Because they've done 2 like linear sort of paths so far. They've done 2 in a row. I think they'll probably do a multi-tier one again.
Yeah,
that's
T11 and
my
T14 were both multi-dungeon tiers.
I don't want to say item squish because I think we're pretty sure that item squish is happening because of the game inflation. The game inflation is happening, right? Predicting it's not happening would be even more because
they can't even make bosses anymore. I mean,
you can't. The numbers they can't go above 2 billion HP. It like breaks the system. Like it's an actual technical limitation in their code. Yeah, like they can't. That's why that's why Garrosh has like he heals over and over again to like increase his health pool, but he never goes above 2 million health. Same thing with Thok and Siegecrafter and Paragons. Like all their health can total. Like they can't go above. Yeah, 2.147 billion, I think, would like break the game. Is that what it is, Mav? Some number would break their whole number.
Raden. Somebody was pointing out to me, I don't remember which guild did it, but you sit there and you let all the red orbs hit Raden, and he goes to 1 HP eventually.
Oh, well, yeah.
Isn't that
like,
a thing? Isn't that a real thing? Doesn't that happen?
stuff that are breaking the
Yeah, you can
the
break
numbers.
Rod Edge.
Yeah. You have to survive through it though, right? And you.
But
Good
but we
luck.
know that the item squish is going to happen. So what are you sure? Let's make a more risky prediction here, Bay.
A risky prediction? I thought.
Here,
I mean.
I'll go out there. I'll let you know what mine is, and then you
Okay.
can tell me yours. I think, and again, this is with my prediction because Blizzard is always like, we're not going to do this. We're really not going to do this. There's so many reasons why this is never going to happen. And every time I see that, I'm always like, So I think we might see Horde and Alliance able to group together cross-realm in 6.0. I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm throwing it out there. I think it may happen. They've talked a lot about faction balance. They've talked a lot about server population. It's definitely recognized as a problem. And they've also been so adamant about it that I question whether or not it's really something that's out of the picture or whether it's basically anti-hype. And I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I bet 10 gold to anyone on Whisperwind Alliance side that we're going to see Horde and Alliance able to group together in 6.0.
It would break the idea of picking a faction, but Nobble, you've talked about this before, though, and that's what I was about to, like, soapbox you for a minute and talk from you to me, is that all of the stuff happening that is leading to the expansion after 6.0, leading to 7.0, is this unified thing, is the stuff that Blizzard has put little breadcrumbs here and there in the books, in the game, and a lot of it has to do with Velen. We're working together to fend off the Burning Legion. Not like a friendly, like, you know, we'll work together now, but then when this is done, I'm going to totally rape your South Shore. Like, none of that. It was that we're going to, like, really be led by, like, a unified body and fight together as basically Azeroth versus the Burning Legion. And to set that up, the Horde and Alliance have to work together, right? So I don't know if they can do that because they kind of have to keep the bridge between, like, the two sides of the game. But in some respect, I always thought that if your friends are on your Battle.net ID or your real ID and they're Horde or Alliance, why can't you play with them? That's right. It's at this point in the game, it's a huge limiting factor. So I'm on the boat with that. I would love that.
Yeah. I'm not saying they're going to remove factions from the game. That's
No.
100% not what I'm saying. I'm saying I think they're going to work in a storyline-based reason or a gameplay-based reason that you can do group content with people who are, just like what you just said, Bae,
Correct.
who are on your Battle.net list. It's just such an arbitrary limitation at this point. And I realize there are really important gameplay reasons why it's there, but I think that it's clear now that they're limiting us in a way that's more unfun than it is fun to put that limitation in. And so I'd like to see if they can pull it off without killing the red versus blue conflict in World of Warcraft. And I think they can. And I think they're going to, and it's because they've been so adamant about the fact that they're not going to. That's my reasoning.
Blizzard is very good at, like, misdirection and subterfuge. Like, all the copyright stuff that came out recently, people were like, oh my god, it's the next WoW expansion! Nope. Oh my god, it's the next WoW expansion! Nope. And then, like, they're really good at throwing you away from what it actually is. But I think, I have so many friends that are Horde, and I just can't play the game with them.
Yeah.
It's because you picked the wrong side.
It's because we're Alliance, man. Because nobody raids Alliance at our level.
Well, and Midwinter went Horde, too, so, like, come on, like... I'm not propagating that. That's Spazzo trolling. They didn't really go.
Yeah, that's Spazzo trolling. I was going to be, like, crushed. Completely crushed. They're my Alliance heroes. Come on.
Yeah.
I kind of think that's probably a good idea in a way, but I think there's a couple of reasons. Like, one, at Blizzard, there's no point of even faction changing anymore, so that's a cash cow gone. But then again, they've added cross-realm servers, and you can do a lot of things cross-realm, so you don't need to transfer your characters as much. But so that could be one thing that stops it. Another thing is that it would be very close to Red, like that whole thing of the Horde versus the Alliance. That would be just like, oh, it doesn't even matter. But if you can maybe do it in a limiting sort of way, so maybe the next...
just like your friends list,
Yeah. To say, like, the next thing is that, like, we are fighting across the Burning Legion, and it is the Horde and the Alliance coming together, even though they did come together for the Siege of Orgrimmar. Say that does come again, and we're fighting up against a greater foe, then maybe you could do raids, but only raids together.
Yeah.
Like, I think
dungeons or scenarios, or...
I think the same limitations that are on cross-realm grouping today You cannot join guilds. You cannot raid current content together, and that's okay because it maintains guild separation, realm separation.
Yeah.
The only thing that I think this is going to affect is cross-realm grouping. And that's why I think it's okay, because they'll still make money off of faction transfers and stuff, because you still have to faction transfer to join the guild.
What Cro-Mag brings up, if they don't balance Horde and Alliance racials, there's no reason to be Alliance if you want to raid, right?
Yeah.
Our racials are so garbage. So
racials are bad. Well, except for Everyman. Everyman's pretty awesome, but...
It has its uses, but I mean, just as a hardcore raider standpoint from heroics, like math, Horde is so much better than Alliance right now. But yeah, I don't know. My prediction, though, you guys have both done yours. I really want to stick with the ulterior path of progression for your character. Either through a Path of the Titans system or some almost grindy, lengthy legendary quest line that is very your class, not necessarily your spec, but your class based. Because at a certain point in the game, once you play too much of it, there's not a lot to do anymore. Like, you can play an alt, but like I watch like all these other players that play tons of this game that stream, and like they're just LFR flexing on their like plethora of ults, right? But if you could do more on your main character that you've been playing and pouring so much time into that you have the most / played on, to me that feels a lot more engaging than just like, well, I guess I'm gonna LFR on my Paladin that I play 4 hours a week. I want to be able to play my Shaman more and have fun on him, because when reputations are done, when your gear is done, when you've done even like Lore Master or whatever, which isn't really that exploration, that's just like you go and beat a bunch of like level 12s in the face. That's not really fun, but I would love ulterior progression paths on your main character, on characters, so that would be just super cool, I think, and I want to go with that. I'm not gonna say Path of Titans, because back in their Path of Titans thing for MOP, it was all like weird, like your bandages heal you for 20% more. Who cares? Like what the heck is that? So I would love ulterior progression paths, like extra, like post, like because you hit 90 or 100 and then like you're done, right? You just raid and you grind your face off for gear. That's like it. So, and I think that might coincide with like the proving ground stuff, because they're doing a lot. They want to put solo content in the game to some degree. So, and I originally thought that scenarios were supposed to be soloable, like not 3-person. So, like literally instant solo content, but that's my prediction. I'm going for that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'll look back in 2 weeks and see whether we were right or not.
Yeah, no, watch us all be wrong. And there's just corgis everywhere.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Now, I think though, with like saying that the next level cap's going to be 100, I don't think that's a very good move. Even though it's kind of in the game, but it of course can be changed. I think that level 100 should be for the last expansion that they're planning on doing, hitting a level 100, because going into a game and like say you're like a newbie or whatever, going into a game and seeing that the level cap is like 100 and like 110 is just like huge. Anything over 100, I think, is just a big, huge goal that's going to take you so long that might put you off of trying to do it all. Whereas if it's 95 and then 100 and then it stops or whatever, whenever WoW is going to stop, then it's going to be like, I think that's probably a better way of doing it, making it so that level is lower. I think 100's a good place to stop. Not like 110 or something.
Blizzard's never gonna like stop their game, because only they can end World of Warcraft. I definitely think that they've got 2 solid expansions coming up, though. Like 6.0 and 7.0 both feel very, I mean, to our knowledge currently, they feel very like they can do these back to back, and they'll be good. A 8.0, though, we're not gonna know until we get there in 2 years from now. Like, we're not gonna know how we feel, right? Like, and we don't know what Titan's gonna be. There's too much up in the air, especially with the industries itself moving forward with so many good other MMOs, right? Like Drink. I still really miss Star Wars: The Old Republic. Like, I still love this game, and they've got the free flying combat coming soon, where you can just fly around with your X-wing or whatever. It's like Rogue Squadron in your MMO.
You just really want that to happen. I feel like you're that girl in Mean Girls who it's like, stop trying to make fetch happen. Fetch isn't going to happen. That's you and Star Wars. No, I wanted Final Fantasy XIV to be that game too, and I don't actually know if it is that game or not. I just got really, I had to hop back into WoW because progression started.
I went so ham, egg, and cheese croissant witch on that game when it was in beta. I wanted to love Final Fantasy XIV, and just the entire process of trying to play it just threw me off so bad. And I think the game now looks brilliant. Like the graphics engine is like with
really
Terra. Oh, it looks great, but I just don't know. I don't know about it.
It's very, very Eastern and grindy.
Yeah.
But people are really enjoying that. I mean,
Sure.
I can't wait to finish progression and jump back into that game.
Yeah. Yeah, Reese is going ham on Terra graphics right now. I mean, it's the Unreal Engine. It looks great. I mean, we're looking at World of Warcraft is basically a beefed up Warcraft 3 engine from 13 years ago. So if you look at that engine that made 13 years ago World of Warcraft, Warcraft 3, and you look at the end of Siege of Orgrimmar cinematic, it's the same engine. Mm-hmm. They have definitely done some things. Even a year ago with the last trilogies we had leveling up in Cataclysm, right? Like the Oldham one or whatever else, stuff like that. Like that's the same engine. And they've done that with it. It's brilliant, though. It's really great. But I don't know. Blah. Anna's making fun of me for my Star Wars: Old Republic love. But any other big questions? I didn't have any other ones big in the email because we're pushing over time here. Oh, I might have gotten one. Hang on a second. I can't use my gloved hand. Ask a boss. I don't want to bring up more League of Legends. Gresh of Hellscream EU wanted me to ask you more about League of Legends with Alex, but I don't know. We talked a bunch about it during the show here and there, but I think the best way to do that is maybe wait for them to do Heroes of the Storm stuff, and you'll get that translated through that game. But because League from people is always different, depending on where you are in the league or how much you play. It's a very popular game, obviously, but
yeah, I think the League of Legends is. It's a very good game, but I just dislike everyone who plays it when I'm playing with them. I think it's a game where people need to learn to shut up. It's a very good that game.
It's a very good that game.
I get very annoyed with people. Like even when I'm playing with one of my friends and we're doing duo kill or something like that, and then they start raging at other people, I'm like, why don't you just shut up? Please, it's not helping. People need to learn. It's just very aggravating. That's the one thing I hate about the game. Is the other people that play it who don't know just be quiet.
Well, League of Legends
game is great except for all the other people who play.
Yeah, well, it actually though what I like to draw a parallel to is League of Legends is an incredibly mental game. It is like 80% mental. It's not about your build. Well, it is. Again, like those things are all compounding, but like your build, your placement, your warding, your farm, your mechanical skills, all pale in comparison to how you feel up here. Like if you are frustrated, or in a bad mood, at a bad day at work, you're stressed out, you're tired, whatever. All those things factor more into your play in League, and that's one thing I was talking about the other day. We were having an after guild chat about Siegecrafter, is mechanical awareness and respect for the encounters. And that is a very mental thing because you have to predict the future when you're playing WoW at a high level. You gotta think, you gotta have timers rolling. You gotta know your cooldowns. You gotta know your rotation when you're going here. You gotta know your movement to here. You gotta know not standing in the fire here, or then it's gonna be a saw blade that comes and hit you in the face. And those are all very, very mental things you have to keep track of while also doing your job mechanically. So that's to bring it back to WoW.
Yeah, it is about WoW, this show.
Yeah, to bring it back home here, but that's where I think about it is. So
no, it's very, very similar in that sort of sense. Yeah. Mm-hmm. At least you get to play with people that you like to play with in WoW, I guess, to an extent.
Well, back to Anna's thing.
Yeah. To be honest, in WoW, it's horrible being because we when we do form a guild or whatever, we form a guild of very good players, but it's got to be a very good players that we like. And if you raid with people that you don't like, then the game is so much less enjoyable. But if you're playing with people that you like and are terrible and they're holding you back, that's even worse because you can't say you're really shit, can you be better or whatever, anything like that. If you're going really hardcore, that is. So it's a really fine balance in WoW. You can put up with people that you dislike in order to get high rank, so you can play people that you like but might fuck up all the time. So I think that's one of the a somewhat annoying thing. And to be honest, that could be in any game as well, to be honest.
Sure, any game.
But in WoW, considering you're doing it so often, some people do, I know, the average, I guess, is 3 raid nights a week for about 4 hours. I think that's probably fair-ish. So that's 12 hours a week of putting up with maybe people that aren't at your skill level or are bastards. So, yeah. But if you get it just right, if you find a guild of people who are really nice and are really good, then you're in a ridiculously strong position.
That's the way I feel about. I just felt. I feel like I've played this game since vanilla, and I've seen so many people who go through, and they're like, and I've been there, and I've been really unhappy with my guild. Either I like the people, or I feel like they're not serious enough, and I'm like a really serious person. Somebody I was playing a game with the other day made a joke like, Anna hates jokes. And it's true. I'm really not. When I'm playing a game, I want to be super serious, and I want to do everything right, and I want everyone else playing with me to take it really seriously too. And so I ended up going for a guild that had a very, very low hours per week requirement, but seemed like they had a really serious attitude while we were in there. So people will come in there to chat and be like, "Oh, Something Wicked's not a hardcore guild," and I'm like, I don't care. Like, we act like hardcore raiders when we're in the raid, and I love it. I loved it since day one.
I mean, to put it in perspective, so you're not like shutting yourself down here completely, is that Chris raids 4 nights a week for 3.5 to 4 hours, and we're on Siegecrafter. Something Wicked raids 3 nights a week for 4 hours a night to have 12 and never go over 12, and you're on Siegecrafter.
And we're on Siegecrafter.
I mean,
and
you're
you were
like
talking about
two...
like raiding like seven nights a week and like all of this crazy preparation stuff, and I'm like, we don't do that. And I love it, but it's not the story I'm meaning to tell is not like Something Wicked is the best guild ever, because there are a lot of other guilds that are like us, and there are other guilds that are different than us that are equally perfect for specific people. But the point of an MMO is to find that group of people who you just really love playing with, and I just really like playing with the people that I play the game with. Like our progression could be better, our progression could be worse. I love being US top 50. It's great. But it's really important to really enjoy what you're doing in the game. Of course. That's what some people, I hear people who say that they're frustrated with the people that they're playing with, and I'm like, if you're frustrated with the people you're playing with, don't play with those people. Exactly, it really sucks to leave a guild. It really sucks. But then you're happier later, So I don't know. I don't remember what got me on this topic, but somebody was saying something about how they're frustrated with the people they play with, and I'm like, you don't need to be like that. Life doesn't need to be that way.
I think it's a good topic to definitely end on. This is going to be a little bit of a longer after show, but it's been awesome. So let's do screenshots real quick here. I'll start with you, Alex. The screen is yours, sir. What do you want your thumbnail to be?
Screenshots?
For the thumbnail on
YouTube. I've got to do like a pose or something.
Yes, sir. What are you going to do for me?
I didn't know this was part of the show. Oh shit, can't you just like do a bunch of screenshots while I'm talking now, and then hopefully one of them doesn't look retarded? That'll be good. That's what I don't know. Fuck. I'm not a photo person.
We'll find one in the show.
Well, I usually get them right here, yeah, because during the show people are talking. So I think I've got one for you during this little thing. That's fine. I'm probably gonna put the Fat Boss guy under you on a 4-post and put like "Laws was here" or something on it, just to, just like that. So, but I gotta get our costumes. So Anna, your turn. What are you? You always hate me when I do this.
I do hate when you do this. We can probably get a photo from when I was showing off my costume earlier.
Well, that's like the costume. It cuts your head off. You're like a floating torso with blood on your apron. Like what the?
That's true. Hold on. Let me pull the Skype up so I can see myself. So I guess I can be like...
Nailed it. That's fine.
Yeah, there you go.
Because I was going to... I mean, I don't know what I was going to... Let me turn off this.
Should I do that as well? Should I do that exact same pose?
You just copied me. You should do the same thing.
Which way was it? Was it this way? Oh, God. That'll be so good. Is like that, yeah?
Yeah, just like that. That's good.
What is going on?
It's because I'm so awesome that...
Wait, do it again? Wait, what happened?
Do that.
That's really good.
Good thing I did a face palm of myself, because that's what I'm going to put on the front.
That makes a really good point. While we're all joking around, everybody click the follow button, please, on Twitch and on YouTube, because the more, even if, the quality's too high for you or you're having trouble watching the show, if we get more followers, we can put the stream into many different quality levels so that you guys can watch it at a lower quality level for your connection if that's better for you. So make sure that you click the follow button for us. It helps us out.
No, absolutely. And actually, on that same note, too, I gotta take my picture again because I messed it up. I just gotta get it. But, in that same regard, if you can't watch and you've had trouble with the live stream itself, iTunes will have this up usually by like Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the VOD of both the main show will be out tomorrow on YouTube, and then the after show comes out usually like a week later or something like that. So if you want to watch all this stuff too, so it all goes up online, so you can watch it there. So, yeah. Oh my God, Cro-Mag. Cro-Mag's voice brings so much random questions to my stream. It's so unique. That's all I'll say. Very unique, Cro-Mag. But you guys are awesome. Thank you very much for watching. If you just tuned in, every Sunday, unless otherwise planned, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 PST and 10 CET is when we go live. Next week, we have on Mistweaver Monks. We have Jada from Vigil. We also will have one more guest that will be to be determined. We're still trying to lock down one more Mistweaver, but right now it's Jada and a guest and Mistweaver Monks next week. But until then, thank you guys very much for watching. You guys are awesome. The mobs and minions of FinalBossTV, thank you guys very much for tuning in. It was a lot of fun. Everyone that came over from FatBoss, you guys are awesome. Go check out
Thanks, guys.
Yep. You guys have a great night. Have a great reset. Have fun at work tomorrow if you have to work. Bye-bye.
See ya.